If you don't know how the money system works, you will lose your ass. This video could save it. Let's go.
I gotta give in now, I just gotta live this now. I be gonna beam and I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in their beam. And I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the whip. Cause I am just up on the journey, just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors, rise. Grand rising. Good evening, warriors all over the world. From my family's heart to yours, I love you. Now I'm going to share this information. This video is more macroeconomic, how money actually works. But this type of stuff is the stuff that we need to unwire our brain and unindoctrinate ourselves to understand how the money system works. We are teetering on a flip of our financial system. And if you understand this at a deep level, not understand it, if you understand this, it could radically change your life. As everybody is fearful, you should be greedy. As everybody is greedy, you should be fearful. We are heading into a fearful stage, okay? We're moving from people pulling their money out of assets and back into cash, and I'm going to show you why, okay? So get out your pen and paper. On my videos, you should have a pen and paper and be taking notes. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you how we can support you in this transition from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0, from industrial to technical, and the biggest shift in generational wealth. All right, let's dive right into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is someone you need to write down is Cathie Wood. You should be following Cathie Wood, Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett. Who are some of the other big people? Those are the key people that I follow. So Ray Dalio, Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett, I follow his investment strategy overall. Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham is a book that I live by. Okay, so I'm an intrinsic value investor in cryptocurrency. Okay, Cathie Wood is one of the most innovative investors of her time. Ray Dalio is the person who teaches me macro and microeconomics. Or you can just watch my videos because a lot of the tone comes from them. Okay, so let's manifest interviewing Ray Dalio at some point. So we're going to watch this first interview from Cathie Wood, and then I'm going to break down the bond market and the money supply. And then we're going to watch a really cool education video on how money works so we can understand what's actually happening within this market.
Is Cathie Wood, ARK Investment Management founder, CEO, and CIO. What a treat for us. It's good to have you back, Cathie.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, Carl.
Most dislocated ever. Ever's a long time.
Ever's a long time, but from last year, the bond market at one point had never performed as, you had to go back to the 1700s. So long duration assets were creamed, including our innovation strategies.
Okay, so that was important. This hasn't happened since the 1980s. Remember, the 1980s, interest, or 1700s, excuse me, 1700s, this hasn't happened.
And it was all because of fears of inflation and higher interest rates. We do think inflation's coming down now. It always seems like it could come down faster, but we do believe it's on its way down. You listen to corporations out there, even those who have had pricing power, the staples, P&G, they get their pricing, but they lose the volume, 6% declines in volume for a staple company. So we do think the consumer is railing against inflation, and the Fed certainly is doing its part, and money supply growth is down. Our estimate is roughly 3% on a year-over-year basis. We haven't seen a decline in money supply since the Great Depression in the 1920s.
So you see
So let's talk about that. So since the 1920s, we haven't seen a decrease in money supply. They literally cut off the money supply, and I'm going to show you how it's going down.
These most recent hawkish hand-wringing as the death gurgle of inflation, one last attempt to try to make its voice known?
I think the Fed really wants to make sure that it has done its job, and job owning is part of it. But I do believe the equity market, certainly the way we've started the year, are beginning to see to the other side. And sure, maybe they go up another 25 basis points, maybe 50, I don't know. But I think we're just about there. And the market is a discounting mechanism after all. So if it can see to the other side, then we should be okay.
It was looking like that in January, but then January data all came in really strong, including inflation, with the PCE going in the wrong direction. So the market has sort of changed its mind from your view, and now thinks we're going to have a series of more interest rate hikes. and they're going to have to stay higher for longer, and the economy is going to get hurt worse than expected.
Yeah, this is going to date me. This reminds me of early in my career. In the early 80s, it was the same thing. But those who bet on lower inflation and interest rates long term were the winners. And it's always the data are very volatile, especially when you have the warmest winter in history here in the Northeast. So I think that's distorted the numbers quite significantly. And the interesting thing about seasonal factors, if that is the distortion, they all have to work out to 1 over the full year. So if they bumped the numbers disproportionately in January, it'll come out of other months.
I don't know. February is a little warm too. Yeah. Some people look at your ARK Innovation Fund, Cathie, as a barometer for what the Fed is doing, right? And they say it's back on the rise. Speculative behavior is back. Unprofitable tech companies are getting bid again. The Fed has more work to do.
You know, it's very interesting that people do link the two together. I think that the muscle memory has more to do with the tech and telecom bubble and bust, and people fearing that we may be in the same situation. We are not. In fact, the seeds for everything that's happening today, all of the innovation that's happening today, they were planted in the 20 years that ended in the tech and telecom bubble. But the technologies back then were not ready. The costs were way too high. We didn't get the big breakthroughs in artificial intelligence until deep learning 2012, transformer technology 2017, and now finally we have a chat GPT. People are beginning to understand that the ground is shifting underneath us when it comes to innovation. Unlike in the late 90s, investors rushed into the late 90s, weren't ready for them. Now they're running away. They really are running for the hills. And what are the hills? They're benchmarks. That's where they think safety is. But if we're right, the benchmarks, which represent the traditional world order, are going to be disintermediated, disrupted by the most massive innovation period in history.
Okay. So this is so important to break this down. I know this stuff is super exciting to me. Okay. So let's talk about the bond market. So basically, let's break down what she said. Okay. So in the 1990s, right, that was a huge boom and bust cycle. There's a lot of things happening right here. If we take Ray Dalio's information and Cathie Wood's information. So there's a huge economic cycle. We have a debt bubble happening right now. We have brand new, well, I guess kind of how she explained it, I love it. It's not brand new innovative technologies. These are technologies in the 90s that came out that are now coming to fruition and are now cheap enough to come out to the public. Back then, they were so expensive. So it's a true boom and bust cycle. The society wasn't ready for it. The innovation wasn't ready for it. So now we're seeing seeds cropping now. At the same time, we have a new monetary system cropping now. So the monetary system part, the new seeds, we're the new seeds. We're the 1990s for crypto. Okay. And then as we go into the future, the new monetary system is going to start to flower the new technologies for crypto. Does that make sense? So we're still in this beautiful cycle for cryptocurrencies where we're going to show you how the money flow works, where money supply is dropping, interest rates are going up, investors are running to cash, which is going to lower the cost of these intrinsic value investments for us. So us normal everyday people can get into these actual investments. So let's talk about the bond market. So she talked about the bond market, hasn't done this since the 1700s. So the bond market refers to the global exchange of debt securities. Unlike the stock market, bonds aren't typically traded on exchanges like New York Stock Exchange. Instead, bonds are usually bought and sold over the counter through broker dealers. That's partly because bonds have a range of maturity coupons, credit ranges that makes the bond market more complex, and the stock market, where most companies tend to just have one class of stocks available to the public. Bonds are priced primarily according to two factors: interest rates, which determine how existing bond compares to new bond, and the credit worthiness of borrowers. Bond prices, especially for corporate bonds, can fall if investors are concerned with the borrower may become insolvent. We are in a position now where borrowers are going to start to become insolvent. Okay, big problem right now. As you see in 2020, since 1960s, you see it go up. 1971, we detached from the gold standard. See 1980s, she was talking about, and then around 2006, in between 2010, boom, we had all these little the grays, these crises. Boom, 2010, we shoot up. 2008, Bitcoin's inception. 2009, we went parabolic in money printing, and then they just shut it off, and we've gone into a free fall now, and the money supply is going down. But with interest rates going up and money supply going down, okay, let's just take just a logical brain. Money supply is going down, okay? So they're not pumping money. They're not buying junk bonds off of companies anymore. You can't borrow anymore. It's too expensive for a company. So if money supply is going down and interest rates are going up, it's going to crush the companies that are not capitalized, that don't have cash in the bank. And the number one expense is employees. So this is good news for us, not as employees, but as investors as we move forward. Because if money supply is going down, I'm going to show you another thing. I'll put this link in the bio. If money supply is going down and interest rates are going up, that means people are going to run to cash, because cash is now king, especially the US dollar. So rich countries are going to put their money into the US dollar, but what goes up must come down. They're going to pull that for profits at some point, and they're going to pull it and they're going to put it into assets, and it's going to go up. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to pull the markets down on the back end of this year. They're going to buy all these intrinsic value companies like cryptocurrency and the ones that are going to be here, and stocks and future companies. And then they're going to bring it back up. They're going to turn the money supply machine back on, okay, because people are going to need assistance. And then the markets are going to pump next year. And that's when we need to have an exit plan, okay? So we're going to watch this. This is from Khan Academy. I'm going to put it down there. You can donate to them as well. I'm going to put the video down. There's a great video, and I highly recommend you go through this lesson. But listen to what he talks about with money supply.
Is going to go up. So the whole point of this is just to show you that you really can think about money like any other good or service. If the supply of money goes up, then the price of money, which is interest rates, will go down. Let me write this down. So if the supply goes up, then the price, which is just interest rates goes down. If the demand goes up, then the price. If the demand goes up, then the price of money will go up. So interest rates will go up. And then we could think about all of the other combinations where one, demand goes down, then interest rates would go down, which is essentially just price. If supply went down, interest rates would go up. If something becomes more scarce, the price of it goes up. So the whole point of this is to show that it's not that complicated. You'll see people say, oh, government borrowing, it's crowding out other savings, interest rates go up, and it sounds like something deep is happening, but they're just talking about the supply and demand for money. And you just have to remember that interest rates really are nothing more than the rental price for money.
So simple, okay? So supply is going down, so money is becoming more scarce. So just like he said, it's the rental supply or rental of money, right? So as money supply is going down, let's go back to this really quickly. Let's see if I can get this back on the screen. Okay, so if money supply is going down, which you'll see right here, if you can see my little screen, the money supply is skyrocketing down, debt is going up, okay? So money is more expensive now. So when money is more expensive, that is going to wipe out the middle class, okay? Then they're going to buy these true value, intrinsic value companies, then they're going to pump the market. It's a cycle that we're going to go through over and over and over again, okay? So warriors, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm going to show you a way that we can help you. In the description of this video, after the video I'm about to show you, you can join the Warrior Academy for 7 days for free in 2023. I would love to see you inside the Academy. As we always say, warriors, rise. Everything you need, description down below.
Is designed to keep you trapped. 2017, I walked out of a high-paid vice president job because I was absolutely miserable. Working 16 to 19 hours a day because that's what the system taught me to do. And what I discovered through countless hours of meditation, research, reading books, understanding how the millionaires and billionaires operate, the system is designed to keep you trapped. Today, I own multiple companies. I travel all over the world. I'm financially free, and that's exactly why I created this community of like-minded warriors coming together called the 3T Warrior Academy. Now, I don't say this to brag. I'm sharing this with you to show you what's possible for you. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to take your life to another level, we believe the Warrior Academy has something for everybody. Processes that take you step by step through disciplined, consistent activities, and that's exactly what you're going to get. Our 120-day challenge, all you have to do is open up the app and take it day by day. We're going to take you through the disciplined, consistent activities to take your life to the next level. Within 1 week, you're gonna feel a difference. Within a month, people are gonna notice a change in you. That's how powerful this 120-day challenge is. So if you're truly ready to break free from the old paradigm into a new paradigm of discipline, consistency, great relationship with your family, financial freedom, and learning the pillars of wealth that'll change your life and generational wealth to come, I'm gonna invite you to do our program for 7 days for free. The 120-day challenge has changed over 5,000 warriors' lives worldwide, and we hope to be yours next. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Let's go.